Hey, it's the Horse of Horses, Divine Test right here. You're now tuned in to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Ho ho ho, and welcome to the show with Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you the latest exclusive breaking news, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, that guy, James J., alongside the leader of Squash Squad, Kaliko Yachts, who is not here tonight, but who is here, the American Scooter Dust.
I had to put my kid down for a nap, and he was just refusing. So I put him in handcuffs. I mean, he was guilty of resisting arrest.
Oh, wow. And from the Gr8ful Yardy Podcast, the Canadian sensation himself, Drew.
Wagwan people, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and joyous holiday season.
And, of course, it was a great week for us as we interviewed Devontas. Interesting interview, great guy. Lots of wrestling stipulations. The guy loves massages. Interesting interview for sure. This upcoming Wednesday, we got Izzy Shaw, the commander of Corky Club, an Australian from Australia. And it's our last interview of the year as well. No, Scooter?
I mean, unless the calendar's changed.
With COVID and all this crazy shit, it might have. I don't know. And if you have any second thoughts on listening to that interview, here's a little snippet of it right now. Alright, and next week on our special 3-year anniversary interview, we got the Renegade Twins. Charlotte, Robin, they're going to be on the show. Our other January interviews feature Mr. Grimm and Angela Slane. So for specific dates on those, head to our Twitter page at Wrestling with E for more details. And to all our fans listening, Merry Christmas. And of course, it's a great day for wrestling, as it was a great year for wrestling as well. No, Scooter?
Yes, it was.
What about you, Drew? What did you think about this year in wrestling?
If I could sum up wrestling in one word for 2021, it would be releases.
And you're not just talking about Winter is Coming, correct?
Correct.
That being said, who was the MVPs of 2021? My main pick for 2021 for superstars, well, it had to be Roman Reigns. Nobody was more dominant, had better matches, had better storylines going into this year than Roman. No, Scooter?
I don't know if I would agree, only because, yeah, Roman had a good year, but it never really looked like Roman was in danger of losing, and that I think is essential to having a good match. That it's got to look like he can be beat, and Roman, it just it's like with Roman, it's just becoming more and more like oh god. See, that's the thing, because it's I guess kind of a double standard, but the fact that whoever beats him will get a huge, knock from being the person that does. But has Roman Reigns jumped the shark this year? Is basically the big question in my mind.
Well, in your mind, who was the MVP Superstar Wrestler of the Year?
Even though my match of the year was different, I am actually going to say oh god, you know what, this is you know what?
I mean, you've known about this we've been discussing this for 3 weeks now. You should have an MVP for 2021.
Okay, I'm gonna go unorthodox. Cameron Grimes.
Because he went to the moon.
He has had so many entertaining matches,
Very true.
and he's been entertaining outside of the ring. He has grown by leaps and bounds, and I think that's essential in really, considering whether a superstar deserves, an accolade like Wrestler of the Year.
Interesting. What do you say about Scooter's pick, Drew?
I'm cool with that pick because he hit some great points with Cameron Grimes. Yes, whatever he was doing outside of the ring was entertaining, and when he was in the ring, he produced some very entertaining matches. So yeah, that for a pick as the MVP, it's unorthodox, but it's a smart pick. And I'm not gonna copy Roman Reigns. To me, is the obvious pick. That's the obvious pick. Anybody that watches professional wrestling and does this type of list at the end of the year, he is going to be their obvious pick. I'll give him special consideration on my list, but for me, the guy that I have to put as my MVP is a guy that comes from Orangeville, Ontario, Canada, and he goes by Edge. And the reason why I'm choosing Edge is that his story going back to WrestleMania after being told that he can never do this again this year, then his great match that he had with Seth Rollins in Madison Square Garden, and now the program that he's doing with The Miz, I'm entertained with. So for me, Edge is my MVP superstar wrestler of the year 2021.
And as story-wise, yeah, the comeback, his comeback was kind of, I want to say halted, but maybe not as appreciated because there was no crowd back in 2020. We finally got the crowds back, and he was allowed to do his thing, and and the crowd got to appreciate it as well. Not to mention, he had some great matches, whether it was with Roman, Seth Rollins. He had 3 great matches with Seth Rollins. And then and now with The Miz. Scooter, how would you rank Edge's 2021?
Okay, he starts off great by returning in the Rumble and winning it. Okay, great. Does the job at WrestleMania. We don't see him again until Money in the Bank, where again he does the job. Then yes, the matches with Seth Rollins, 3 great matches. However, I can't, because of the limited time we've seen Edge, I feel it's a tad unfair. And this is just from my point of view, no offense to present company, that it's just unfair to include him when we've seen great things from him, but we've seen still so little compared to everything else.
Very true. Let's go back to Cameron Grimes for a second. Cameron started off the year investing in GameStop and becoming a millionaire, which led him to feud with Ted DiBiase, LA Knight, and really become a staple of NXT Black and Gold. And not to mention having more than a few bangers in their of. So for sure, Cameron Grimes had a great year, but I'm interested to see where he goes this next year, considering we're in the 2.0 version of NXT, and they kind of made it evident that they want to phase those guys out.
And I also think it's very interesting that you chose Edge, because I think you can really see the parallels of Cameron Grimes and Edge. In terms of, they started out as a secondhand character that grew on the crowd, and I think the twilight of Edge's career was his feud with Kurt Angle in the hair versus hair match, and we've seen that recently with Cameron Grimes against Duke Hudson. So I'm expecting Cameron Grimes to do big things in 2022, and I really hope the WWE's not drop the ball with him.
What say you, Drew?
I have to agree. I'm not going to change my pick with Edge, but there is a whole lot of parallels between him and Cameron Grimes. So the sky is the limit. If Cameron Grimes turns into a WWE Hall of Famer, like a lot of people didn't think that Edge would have been, that's Cameron Grimes' ceiling. So let's just see what he does in 2022, and hopefully they don't drop the ball with him.
Now, parallel to that, what do we see Edge in 2022? Could this be the last year of Edge, and maybe a retirement match at Mania? Yep.
It's possible. It's possible. This is the final run for him, or his last dance, as if you want to call it. And yeah, it should culminate at Mania, but who needs the win? That's the thing. If you're gonna have a retirement match with a Hall of Famer like Edge at WrestleMania, who is the guy that he goes up against to give him that L on the way out? That would elevate them to say, "Hey, look, I'm the guy that beat Edge." Because when Baron Corbin beats Kurt Angle, what has that done for Baron Corbin's career? Just turned him into a happy guy.
Yep, absolutely nothing. What say you, Scooter? What do you see Edge in 2022?
Well, probably in a couple more feuds with some of the remaining guys of the ruthless aggression era. I really want to see Edge and McIntyre. I kind of want to see Edge get in the middle of Orton and Riddle. But then again, I'm also still hoping for Arcade Brodus. So
yes.
But then maybe at the end of the year, Cameron Grimes retires him.
And that brings us to my pick, Roman Reigns. Does anybody dethrone the head of the table? Does they relegate him to side of the table? Drew?
The only guy I can see right now is Brock at day one. I think from what's progressing, I really think that Roman is going to throw Paul one side, and Paul is going to rejoin Brock to dethrone Roman.
All right. Now we talked about the guys. Now it's time to talk about the girls. Who was female wrestler of the year? Scooter.
Since I know your pick, I'm not gonna steal it.
What do you think my pick is?
Oh, clearly your pick is either Dr. Britt Baker or Thunder Rosa.
You would be wrong.
All right, then Thunder Rosa.
And why did you pick Thunder Rosa?
Thunder Rosa has had numerous memorable matches. With she was one of the reasons to watch AEW and NWA.
Alright. And she definitely, had some great matches in 2020, but I feel like her breakout year was 2019, and she never really got to in 2020, and she never really got to capitalize on it because of the pandemic, and it just kind of became, I don't want to say jobber, but she really didn't win as much as she had in 2020, 2019. Just in my opinion. But what say you, Drew? On Thunder Rosa.
You asking my pick?
No, your opinion on Thunder Rosa's 2021. Oh, did we lose Drew?
I'm here.
Your thoughts?
I was this one was kind of tough for me because in the beginning of the year, I would have said Bianca Belair was my MVP. But the way they've made her look over the last few months, it kind of So I have to go with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, because she's consistently been the top female across professional wrestling. The other pick I had was Deonna Purrazzo was my other pick, because that's another person that left WWE and reinvented themselves into somebody that's part of the main event picture in any company that she's gone to. So instead of saying Britt Baker, I'm going to say Deonna Purrazzo as my MVP female of 2021.
And now, see, Scooter, Drew stole my pick. Because Deonna Purrazzo was my pick. She, like you said, Drew, nobody maybe had better matches. Nobody had the quality of matches that she had. And, I mean, the last, 2-3 months, they dropped her off to Mickey James because, she needs her flowers and her candies and the car and the limousine and all that good stuff. But Deonna, nobody has been better than her in these last 2 years. But the unfortunate thing about it is nobody is really talking as much about her as they should. Because she kind of comes from an Impact Wrestling. Scooter, what do you think about our picks?
Honestly, I've never been a big fan of Deonna Purrazzo.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, I don't know what is seen in her. Hopefully I'll be proven wrong, but in the meantime, she's just not for me.
All right. Drew, Tag Team of the Year.
Tag Team of the Year. Oh, man. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go out of the box here and say Sting and Darby Allin.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. It would be easy for me to say the New Day or to say the Usos or to say the Briscoes or FTR or the Bucks or actually, you know what? I'm going to say not scratch Darby and Sting. I'm going to say the Lucha Brothers. I'm going to say the Lucha Brothers are my tag team of 2021. They've put on amazing matches with whoever they've been in the ring with. They're entrances are very elaborate and very over the top, and the crowds are so behind everything that they do. Ray Phoenix is one of the most amazing luchadors I've seen in the last couple of years outside of Rey Mysterio. So yeah, the Lucha Brothers are my tag team of 2021.
My tag team of the year, I took the easy way out. Young Bucks. They've had great matches all this year. You definitely can stand them all year. They held the championships all year. They had probably one of the best tag team matches of the year with the Lucha Brothers at All Out. So that's kind of why I'm going with the Young Bucks. And what about you, Scooter?
I'm gonna take the easy way out, and I'm gonna say the Usos. Honestly, I thought they might have been doomed, when Jimmy came back at the end of 2020, but no, they stepped back up and reminded us of why they have been down since day one-ish.
Not the paid preview. We're talking about Bork. Alright, that brings us to our next topic. Best match. Scooter?
Oh, without a doubt, Walter, Ilya Dragunov, TakeOver 36.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, they beat the hell out of each other in that match, didn't they?
It was, good God. There are a few matches that happened that remind me of why I'm a wrestling fan, and this was the only one this year that really reminded me of why I love wrestling in the first place.
What about you, Drew? What did you think about that match? Dragunov and Walter.
I'm saying it's a clean sweep in this category because, like Scooter said, this match pretty much showed why I love this genre of entertainment known as professional wrestling. And it went from wrestling to a fight back to wrestling. It had everything that you could ask for. And if you are a fan and you said, this is the reason why I love professional wrestling, and showed somebody that's not a fan of professional wrestling this, they probably be hooked on it too and say, give me more of that.
Now, you said a clean sweep.
I felt like everybody was on agreement that was the match of 2021.
Oh, without a doubt. But
okay, so that's why I meant it was a clean sweep.
Yeah, but that's what I was kind of getting into. What was other matches that maybe are honorable mentions?
Bianca Belair and Sasha from WrestleMania Night 1. Like I said, Edge, the matches that Edge had with Seth Rollins.
For sure.
Lucha Brothers and FTR in the cage. Or no, Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks in the cage. Sorry.
Yep.
Lucha Brothers and FTR. Daniel Bryan and Omega from Arthur Ashe. Cameron Grimes and his name escapes me.
LA Knight.
LA Knight. Yeah, those are some of the matches that are honorable mention for me. But if I have to take it back, it would have to be Walter and Ilya Dragunov.
What about you, Scooter? What do you think is honorable mention matches? Did
Oh,
Drew cover most of them?
yeah, I'd say so. And by the way, I'm amending a previous statement to say that Walter is the one who beats Roman.
Ah,
Interesting.
yeah.
One match I'd like to throw in there, El Desperado versus Kota Ibushi from the 49-year anniversary of New Japan show. Just a really great match that did have stipulations on it. So there was a lot of good matches this year, but I don't feel like there was a lot of great matches. I mean, obviously Dragunov and Walter, we all agreed on great best match of the night of the year. Um, but we are being joined by Kaliko Yachts.
What's up, y'all? It's been a long couple days. Hug your loved one, man. That's all I'm gonna say before we get into that.
Sorry to hear that, man. But how about we get right into it, Kaliko? Match of the year.
Ooh, match of the year. Damn, that already. It's either Bianca Sasha or the Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. But I'm gonna go Bianca Sasha, because it got way more press. It was the first women's main eventing WrestleMania as African American women. It kind of pushed a ball on the African American side, and Sasha gets all the credit for that shit because I know she fought for hell for it.
No, I was kind of going over that. In 2020, we didn't have cards, but we got a lot of really interesting matchups, like the Boneyard match. New Japan had some great classic matches, but it doesn't feel like 2020 had that 2021 had that this year. Agree or disagree? There was a lot of good matches, maybe not great matches.
Well, it wasn't a lot of unique matches because they were everybody was trying to get back on the saddle as far as touring, and I think taking care of the talent per se was more important than trying to figure out what 5-star match that they had. I would say that Walter and Dragunov had a really good classic match, but I think being in the UK, they didn't really have to move a lot.
That was in America.
So it kind of.
That was in America. That was the TakeOver 36.
Oh, it was in America.
Yeah. You're thinking of their first match. The first match they did in the empty studio, the BT Sports studio from I think.
Word, see. Yep. You're right. But also, who else had a good? Oh yeah, Bate and Walter was really good. Ciampa Walter was really good.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I mean, whenever you have Walter in a match, you know it's going to be a slobber knocker.
Yeah. So I mean, but I would say as far as match of the year, yeah, it's Bianca and Sasha because at Twitter, five most tweeted female athletes, Sasha and Bianca were on the list. So that tells you. And that match happened in April. So.
All right. Drew, rivalry of the year.
Oh man, rivalry of the year. I'm gonna step outside of the world of professional wrestling and say, or outside of the world of what happens in the squared circle, and say, pink slips, the WWE versus pink slips, because of the amount of people that got released over the year in 2021. I believe it was almost 90 people that got released. So yeah, WWE versus pink slips is the rivalry of 2021.
And Scooter, do you think pink slips are going to win that rivalry, or the talent going to rise above it?
I don't know how to answer that question.
And did you have an answer?
No, I didn't.
Alright, Scooter, rivalry of the year.
This is where I choose Seth Rollins and Edge.
Fair enough. I mean, it was a great rivalry. Alright, Kaliko, rivalry of the year.
WWE fans versus AEW fans, because it felt like every week it was Bloods and Crips.
Ooh, oh God, I think. Ooh, I'm wondering if I should change my. I'm wondering if I should change my pick to Chris Jericho versus Dan Lambert.
You can if you want. I mean, we didn't. This isn't the colossal question. You don't have to lock it in.
I mean, who doesn't love? I'm a fat-faced dipshit. Yeah. No, I'll stick with Seth and Edge.
My rivalry of the year: Jungle Boy versus Promos.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you to the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, so you like Jungle Boy's promos?
Okay. All right.
So you agree with Jungle Boy? He has better hair than Adam Cole.
Oh, yeah. I have better hair than Adam Cole.
I mean, Jungle Boy's like 20. He better have better hair than that Adam Cole.
No, Jungle Boy
got a better chick. Got a better chick too.
Great hair in his jeans. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
He has better jeans too. Are they Levi's?
I know you're really not making a joke out of Jungle Boy's dead father.
No, they're not Jungle Boys. They're Bugle Boys.
What? What are we talking about here? Now, what about paid preview of the year, Scooter?
Oh God, pay-per-view of the year. Yeah, you know what? I am gonna say. Yep, I'm good. I'm gonna say TakeOver 36.
Both nights? Or night 1, night 2, the whole thing?
There was only one night.
Wasn't the 36 2 nights? Stand and deliver?
No, that was not. No, that was 35.
Oh, okay.
Matches on this night: Cameron Grimes, LA Knight. Had Grimes lost, he would have become Knight's butler. We know what happened with that. Raquel and Dakota for the NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah, Raquel Dakota. Yep.
Dragunov Walter again. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. Adam Cole's last WWE appearance, and Samoa Joe winning the NXT Championship.
Yeah, over Karrion Kross.
What say you, Drew?
I'm gonna go with AEW's Full Gear.
The one a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Hmm.
I enjoyed every single match from top to bottom. They opened the show with MJF and Darby Allin, which they gave time to. The Lucha Brothers, my tag team of the year, went up against FTR. That was a great match. You had Bryan Danielson and Miro. You had Christian Cage and Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus against the Super Click. Cody Rhodes and Pac, which you could have went to the washroom on that match. That's when, to me, when the show kind of fell flat. But other than that, everything else, even the build with CM Punk and Eddie Kingston going into the show, that was a cold match going in, but their build to it made that match even more important. And then with Hangman Page finally reaching his destiny and winning the championship over Kenny Omega. So, yeah, that's my pay-per-view of 2021.
My pay-per-view of 2021, I would have to say, was All Out. I mean, you had the return of CM Punk. You had that incredible Young Bucks Lucha Bros match in the cage. It just, everything at that show clicked, it gelled, it made sense. Except for the main event, because nobody gave a shit about that. And the thing that made that show so important and so special was the crowd being so in it and invested, and something we didn't get to see last year was, a legitimate crowd reaction. So for all that reasons, I feel like All Out was the best show. What say you, Kaliko?
I was gonna pick All Out. I really thought it was, but to me, I'm gonna say WrestleMania Night 1 because it felt like it was unexpected. It was a night of unexpected because Bobby Lashley. We all thought Bobby Lashley was going to lose that title. A lot of people were, and he came out with the win. Natalya and Tamina comes out of nowhere and wins the tag team turmoil match. Cesaro gets his first WrestleMania win over Seth Rollins, which was a class. That's a pretty good match for 11 minutes. AJ Styles almost defeats the New Day, almost just looking crazy. Braun and Shane, I get it, but the last two matches, which was Bad Bunny, which was probably the best celebrity wrestling debut ever, taking out The Miz and Morrison, and then, of course, Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks main eventing Night 1 was the first two African-American women doing it. It felt like Night 1 was, and I said that when I was there, it was like Night 1 felt like ethnic night because everybody of color or different origin won that night. It was just crazy. It's like United Nations night.
Yes. I agree, man. I agree.
Alright, Kaliko, you came in a little late to the party. Can you tell us, male wrestler of the year, female wrestler of the year, and tag team?
My male wrestler of the year, Walter.
Even though he wasn't on WWE TV that much?
No, but the matches he had meant a lot more. In the caliber of people, the caliber of people he fought. Him Dragunov twice, him and Bate, him and Ciampa. Like those four matches, I think could rival anybody's whole year. A close second to Roman because Roman just something else. But yeah, he's the wrestler of the year for me. female wrestler. This is the hard one because it's just like my mind is going Banks, but Banks hasn't really done a lot after that Mania. Bianca got the shine. I'll go Bianca. And Bianca, Royal Rumble winner, main event in WrestleMania. Yeah, she had the Becky slip up at 18 seconds. Sole survivor. So she had a great year other than that. Out of nowhere. Tag team of the year. Whew, we know it ain't gonna be nobody in WWE. Yeah, it would have to be. I'll say the Young Bucks because they flipped that switch. They did the CM Punk. They were faces, then they became heels, and they kept everybody guessing. And they had really, really great matches with FTR, Lucha Bros. So yeah.
All right. Now, the year as a whole, what company had maybe the better of years? WWE, AEW, etc., Scooter.
Well, clearly AEW.
Was this their breakout year?
I think it was both a breakout year and both a year of overdoing it.
Hence, winter is coming.
I mean, yeah, they had a breakout year, but again, they keep adding to that friggin' roster, and that is the one drawback.
What say you, Drew?
I agree. AEW is the promotion of 2021. However, yeah, they kind of overdid it with stuff, to be honest with you. And to me, they should put a freeze on their roster right now. I know there's a bunch of free agents out there because of Ring of Honor and those 80 to 90 people that have been released from their WWE contract. But I don't think they need to sign anybody out of that list right now. If they are going to sign people, maybe it's younger talent to try to see if you have any diamonds in the rough. But yeah, they're the promotion of 2021.
Oh, by the way, James, this just in. Renegade Twins receiving a WWE tryout.
Ooh.
Interesting. Well, we'll ask him about that on January 5th, I believe.
Don't be surprised if they postpone, though.
I would not surprise. They I'm not going to finish that. What say you, Kaliko?
I'm gonna go. It's a two-part answer for me. Legend with the fans, AEW. Legend at the bank, WWE. Because as much as they done laid off so many people, it had all this crazy turnover somehow. And this is where I keep telling people, they're not trying to have like the great wrestler. They're trying to be like the Super Friends of Wrestling, and they want WWE to be Apple. So the machine keeps rolling, and they had some crazy profits, even with all of that. Cutting people, yeah, they cut people to get it, but to sell out Raymond James 2 nights, get Vegas in a night, and to be able to get SummerSlam to the point where it's going to be at football stadiums, yeah, that's it just shows that they're not going anywhere.
All right. And I have to agree with everybody else. AEW breakout year, maybe maybe less should have been more with them, but I guess they wouldn't be AEW if they didn't overdo it a little bit, no? But what about the other companies? I mean, Ring of Honor stop and start, and now it's completely stopped. It might be coming back in April. Um, and I feel like a lot of what they didn't get covered just because it wasn't, you know, in the popular, interesting things to do. Agree, disagree, Scooter?
I agree.
I mean, and Impact, I feel like they've always had some like great talent and have low key great matches as well, but they never get that credit, and they don't get that what would be the word they don't get notoriety for it as well. And I do think that they had a pretty decent 2021 as well. Agree, disagree, Kaliko?
It's crazy to me that Impact has been around that freaking long, and yet they are still the number 3 company in wrestling.
Oh, yeah. I mean, could you even really call them number 3 at this point?
That's my point. And they're only 3 because ROH is gone. As far as America, but worldwide, they're not even top 5.
And is that kind of sad that Impact's not going to kind of get their flowers? That they're always going to be hashtag TNA LOL?
It's just the diehards are literally keeping that thing alive. I swear to God, the diehards and Access TV are literally keeping that thing alive, which is crazy that Access TV would get them, considering that they had New Japan, and New Japan is like the number 2 company in the world. But that's a whole other
No topic.
Here's the thing. What I do, I'm a delivery driver for Staples, right? And this week, one of the routes I was on took me to Anthem Sports and Entertainment. So guys that own TNA and Impact and all this kind of stuff. So I wasn't directly delivering to them. I was delivering in the building that they are in. So I have to walk past the studio that they have in this particular building. Nice area of Toronto and everything like that. So I walk into the building and I literally see a screen, a board. There's a guy sitting at the table, another guy beside him, and that was Anthem Sports and Entertainment. And they have a little sign with the little owl on the door that says Anthem Sports and Entertainment. And I'm like, so I was curious. I was like, oh, I'm looking for suite 205. And they're like, oh, down the hall. And I'm like, hey, do you guys like edit Impact Wrestling here? And it's like, oh, yeah, sometimes we even shoot stuff with like Josh Matthews and stuff. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is why, as Kaliko says, you've been around for so long and you're not relevant, because everything that Impact, TNA, whatever their name is today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, it looks and feels low budget. You could have the greatest talent in the world, but I shouldn't be able to come on my job and actually see where you edit your television program. You should be so hidden. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yes.
Like if you're going to create a studio where this is where guys and girls come in. Even look at ECW, and they did a documentary where they were doing interviews in Paul Heyman's parents' basement. And when you watch ECW television, you never knew it was Paul Heyman's childhood basement that Tommy Dreamer and Joey Styles were doing promos in. That's the problem with Impact. Yes, they have great talent. Yes, they own Access TV. They've accumulated these great things to help their product, but the problem is who is running the show. It feels like so long ago when Kenny Omega was showing up on Impact, and then Tony Khan would do those little stupid videos about, and this was coming up on Impact. It seems like that was so long ago. It's just I want wrestling to strive in any part that it can, but it's not gonna happen when you have rinky-dink owners that don't put money into things to make themselves. You don't have to be WWE. I'm not saying you have to be selling out stadiums, but come on, even if it's to put your stuff in a small arena or shoot in front of 500 people, or it's just something. It's just every time Impact takes 50 steps forward, they take 400 back.
Hey, don't blame Anthem for putting the Tella in telework.
Speaking of taking 400 steps back, New Japan. This was not a great year for New Japan, whether it be the debut of the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Kota Ibushi getting injured, Will Ospreay getting injured, Okada getting COVID. What else am I missing here?
Naito, night one.
Naito night one, Kota Ibushi night the end, the last day. What could January 4th and 5th be a reset that New Japan really needs? Because there was a lot of shows on the New Japan card that I was like, yeah, I could skip it. Kaliko.
Well, they also had the Olympics, so that to me kind of threw everything in awry in a way, because usually you would want a gang of people in your city for the Olympics, so that way you can maximize, this is New Japan wrestling and so on and so forth. And they weren't able to do that due to COVID, and considering that the Olympics was supposed to be in 2020 and it got ran in 2021, and then they had all these different restrictions for athletes and so it kind of threw them out. And then they just had that curse with that belt, which was just I don't know what the hell was going on. But I will say Wrestle Kingdom has the opportunity to be a reset with a couple of matches. Preferably, I'm interested in Sho versus Yo.
Of course.
Okada versus Takagi. And if Yoshihashi wins the New Japan Tag Team Championships, I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
I mean, you don't like Yoshihashi? What are your feelings on Yoshihashi?
Fuck Yoshihashi. Fuck yeah, he looks like he doesn't care. Sometimes he'll have that. Fuck it face. And then they also got Shibata versus whoever. Insert somebody. You know what I mean? They have a chance to make it a thing. The fact that Naito will be able to even wrestle is a miracle. So yeah, they have a chance to reset it. Now the difference is I don't know how they are as far as international travel because I've known people who who actually take those trips. Um, so I don't know if they'll get the 70,000 each night that they had. So we will see.
What say you, Drew?
Yeah, for me, New Japan this year was the worst promotion of 2021, to be honest with you. And I think, like Kaliko was saying, the Olympics not having that international travel coming over to Japan to be able to see New Japan hurt them immensely. COVID has hurt them in and out of the ring. So, yeah, January 4th, those nights in the Tokyo Dome is a major reset to really show the world exactly their brand of professional wrestling going forward.
Anything you want to add, Scooter?
No, I think everything's been summed up perfectly.
Scooter, any last final thoughts on 2021?
On 2020?
2021. Robert Walters is not on the show. We cannot afford him.
You know what? I got nothing left to say.
You Sabata, that's all?
Yep.
Drew, final thoughts on 2021.
It was a crazy year in the world of wrestling. Pink Slips have been kicking Talon's ass left, right, and center from January all the way to December. And I just hope that going forward, Ring of Honor comes back full strength and the rest of the promotions that were the little engines that can find a way to work together to continue to harvest a great relationship in the world of professional wrestling.
What say you, Kuka?
To the fans, we showed that we mattered when it came to professional wrestling. Let us not fuck it up by doing all this promotional BS, who's better than who, whatever. Let everyone enjoy the product. I'm one of those people who love both, and let's just enjoy the wrestling. Just be glad that we have the opportunity to have these options.
And absolutely, with all that being said, I'll add the last word. Fuck with it.
What did you say?
Fuck with it.
Reddit.
Oh, damn. I thought you said F women. I'm about to say, what the hell? What did women do to you? So who hurt you, James?
It's what they haven't done to him. No.
Oh, damn.
Or
You're not wrong about that.
You're all up in James' personal business, man. Damn.
That's our goal for the year. Hashtag get James laid.
Oh, wow. Maybe that should be James's New Year's resolution.
Why wait. Why are we all in James' kitchen?
I know. I'm stepping out of James' kitchen. I thought he said F women, so I just wanted clarification, and I got the clarification. I'm good.
We are all in the kitchen. I'm like, yeah.
We cooking, we baking, we doing all that stuff in the man's kitchen. I'll leave it alone.
Mixing the kitchen, cracking the kitchen. I'm just like, yeah.
In the kitchen, we're putting new flooring in, plumbing, everything.
The refi breeze in the kitchen, like, yo, what the hell?
What just happened?
I don't know. I really thought you said F women. That's what I thought you said, but you clarified it. We're good.
Got the. Don't mess with his chickens, man. Don't be messing with his chickens. Women.
You clarify.
All right. Thank you for the clarification.
with that, we'll conclude our coverage of the year. And I'd just like to say, thank you to everybody that listened to Wrestling with Entertainment in the year 2021. We had our first full year of interviews, where it seemed like the show wasn't going to continue in 2020. We had our biggest and breakout year in 2021, and we were certainly proving that we're not 15-minute famous, that we are the constant, and we are not going anywhere. And we will prove that further in 2022, by getting bigger, badder. We're going to get more attractive. We're going to have new clothes. Scooter might be bald at the end of all of this as well.
Damn, what is with everybody in their kitchens? What did y'all? What
Well,
the fuck
It's for charity.
We're raising money for News Story over on the Smoking Dragons Twitch channel. We're up to $19,000. We're doing it for News Story. They can 3D print a house for the cost of $10,000. Last year's goal, last year we raised a little over $18,000. We've already beaten it. I said at $20,000. If we get to $20,000 by the time Thankmas ends, which is the end of the month, I will cut my hair, which hasn't been cut in 4 years.
Okay. Man, y'all just...
And he's cutting his hair, he's not cutting women. Just so we have that.
Whoa!
Jesus Christ.
Holy.
What did I walk
ladies
into?
and gentlemen.
What did we walk?
You caused this, Drew. You caused this.
Don't blame Canada. Blame yourselves.
Save the drama for your Dahmer.
Seriously, I'd like to thank, everybody that's came on the show, that's done an interview with us, that took a chance on us and had a good time with us. I'd like to thank Conrad Cushman and everybody at Everything Pro Wrestling for being friends of the show. A new friend of the show, Don Kincaid of the Kincaid Files. Shout out to him. Of course, Drew joined us for the very first time in February of 2021. So thank you, Drew, for coming on the show and becoming a part of this family at Wrestling With as well.
Thank you for having me. You
love me. Take back that date.
Really love me. I'm not getting in anybody's kitchen.
Nobody's kitchen?
I'm not going in anybody's kitchen. Nope. I ain't going there.
Okay. We'd like to thank Winter for not coming on the show.
Yeah, because we don't like her.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think I gave everybody their flowers. If anybody wants to add anything to that.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is, man, this year, just hold your loved ones a little bit tighter, man. Talk to the people who you ain't seen in a while, man, because you never know when it might pop off and they're gone, and you'll regret things that you haven't done. So, for those who are overseas watching over us, and for those who have lost loved ones, just be grateful that you had the memories with them. And to you guys, y'all are my peeps, man. As much as I haven't been so busy this year, but y'all are my peeps, and I must say, this has been more than therapeutic. It's been so awesome.
It's fine. You have to deal with people that lift walls, so we understand.
And I'm staying out of kitchens, unless it's my own kitchen. Just say.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I gotta wash my chickens.
I'm in everybody's kitchen. I'm going through the fridge. I'm eating your leftovers that you didn't know were there.
That'd be
Take
weird.
the remote, taking the remote, watching
Everything. Yep.
Taking an upper decker.
All right. For me, I just want to say thanks to you guys for including me on this wild journey. Just being able to talk professional wrestling with a bunch of other wrestling fans has been awesome. And I hope we can continue to do it in 2022.
Oh, absolutely. And if you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. Next week we should have a watch along of some sort. That you should watch along with us. And then January like 8th or 7th, we should be back full swing of a review of Wrestle Kingdom 16.
Full swing, not full sail.
And join us this Wednesday as we interview Izzy Shaw. And join us on, I believe, the January 1st. No, when is the? Join us the next Wednesday for the Renegades Twin interview. Once again, Drew, thank you so much for coming on and spending our very last show of 2021 with us as well.
Thanks for having me.
And of course, where can they find the Gr8ful Yardy?
Gr8ful Yardy Podcast is available on majority of any podcast platform on the World Wide Web. You can also find me on social media, Drew_Wrestling on Instagram, DWrestling99 on Twitter. And you can always hit me up with an email that is MrDrewWrestling99@gmail.com.
And social media?
For me, IG is Drew_Wrestling99 and Twitter is DWrestling99.
And of course, this episode and every episode is sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. You can follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on Twitter and Instagram for all your wrestling entertainment needs. You can follow me at JamesJ993. Where can they find Kaliko?
You'll find me either happy or crying that Georgia has won this national title at I Am Kaliko.
And where can they find Scooter?
As always, on Twitter at Scooter Dust, at the Remix.
In your kitchen.
In your kitchen.
In your house.
In your kitchen with the Burger King question, with Canadians from Australia and possibly Papua New Guinea.
Say it with you. Get it all out.
And the Remix, January 1st, 2022, day 1-ish. And of course, get me bald for 20K. Twitch.tv/Smoking Dragons. We're getting people home for the holidays.
For our special guest, Drew, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James Shea, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment. Fuck with it.
Get out the kitchen!
Hey guys, this is Brutal Bob Evans from Hangs with Bob Seminars and TheWrestleLife.com, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.